Watch Game Kings, The Definition of Game, documentary by joining the Bad Boy membership. Go to badboymembership.com right now and be one of the first people to watch this movie. Official release date, Black Friday, November 27th, 2020. Yo, what's poppin'? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? What's good? So listen, if you understand what I'm about to say in this video, right, this is going to, take your game to like all the way up here, man. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I did a video actually like this like a long time ago. Right, but I didn't get into too much detail, so I want to get into more detail in this video. Right now, what I want you guys to understand is this: is that when you're talking to girls, right, what's going to give you an advantage? What's going to give you an edge? What's going to make it a little easier for you to attract certain women? Right, is you need to understand how women in general, right? Because every chick's individual, but you have to understand how in general women view you. You understand? So you need to be aware of how women in general view you. So that means that how do, most women view you? What's their perception of you? Right? Now, once you understand how most women view you, right, then that gives you an edge on how to come at them in order to get the best results out of the situations you're in when you're hollering at girls. So you're probably like, Mr. Locario, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Now, let me break it down like this, right? Once you understand how women views you, then that's going to make it easier for you to get at her. For example, I'll use myself as an example, right? Now, most women view me as a player, right? That's their perception of me. Now, you're probably saying, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know how a woman views me? You understand? You're thinking, how am I supposed to know this, right? Now, this is the thing. The way that you're going to know this and understand this and be sort of sure about the perception that women have of you is you actually have to go out there and start interacting with a lot of women. And what's going to happen is that when you start interacting with a lot of women, you will see how most women view you because they're going to act in certain ways, treat you certain ways. They're going to come at you certain ways, and that's going to let you know how women view you in general. So what happened is that when I would go out there, interact with girls, talk with girls and all this other stuff, I'd say 85 to 90% of the time, I'd always have girls say stuff like, oh, you must have a lot of girls. You're really good at talking to women and, oh, you're just a player. Or you say that to all the girls, and I've had women who were intimidated by me when I was interacting with them because they're like, oh, no, I'm not trying to mess with you because, you probably got like 6 girlfriends and all this other crazy shit. So what happened is that I was aware that these women, they would, view me as this player guy. Right now, the thing is that, yeah, there's chicks that I would fuck with, I would be dealing with a lot of different girls, all this other stuff. Right. And so what happened is that some of these women would sort of, they would like me or whatever, but some of them I wasn't able to get with because they had this fear of, oh, I'm just going to play them. I'm going to pump and dump them. I'm going to use them and all this other shit. Right. So because I knew that these women viewed me as a player, I used that to my advantage when I would interact with these women. Right. So now this is the thing. Because some of these women that I would talk to, I actually liked them. I actually wanted to make something happen with them. And there was a lot of women I was losing out on because they would, basically not want to fuck with me because they thought I was just, some player dude who's going to play games with them and just fuck around and just keep it pushing. Right now, I'm the type of dude where I'm like, look, if I just want to hook up with a chick, I let her know, look, I'm just trying to hook up. But if I like the chick, I'll still keep fucking with her and make shit happen. Right. But the thing was, I was losing out on girls because they would just assume I would, just pump them and dump them. So because I knew that women viewed me as a player and some of them were intimidated by me, what I did was in my game, I sort of flipped it on them before any of their fears or concerns became a thing. So if I really like the girl, and now this is the thing, you want to be authentic with what you're doing. But see, if I really like the girl, I would let her know. I would be extremely flirty. I would compliment her. I would validate her. You understand what I'm saying? I would let her know that I'm really, really interested in her. Now, the reason why I let her know I'm really, really interested in her is because most women wouldn't believe that I'm really interested in them because they perceive me as a player. They thought I was just some guy that was going to, play games and, be doing a whole bunch of crazy shit just to get in their pants and keep it pushing. So since I knew that, I approached them and interacted with them and let them know off rip, like, listen, I'm really feeling you. I really like you. And even sometimes when I would do that, they'd be like, I don't believe what you're saying, blah, blah, blah. So I would have to reiterate to let them know, like, hey, listen. And I would actually tell them, I'd be like, listen, look, I'm not going to front. Like, I mess with a lot of girls. You understand what I'm saying? I do my thing, right? So then it's confirming their perception. They're like, yeah, I knew this guy was a fucking player. So I'm letting them know that. But on the flip side, I'm also saying, but listen, I feel a connection between me and you. I actually want something to happen between me and you, right? So what I'm doing is that I'm, getting rid of her fears and concerns about me just trying to pump and dump her by letting her know that I'm actually interested in her. And I'm doing that based off the fact that I know that most women are going to already see me as that guy, which is the player, which can scare off some of the women that would, want to fuck with me in the first place. So I would basically interact with them in a way, let them know, like, hey, listen, I really want to make this shit happen with you. But I would only do it, of course, if I actually wanted to make shit happen with them, because I didn't really want to have that fucking bad karma on me just saying shit just to get in their pants and then actually keep it moving, right? And so what I'm saying here is that you need to understand how women view you. Now, let's use another example. Let's say you're the type of guy who women sort of sees you as like a beta male type of dude, and they kind of see you as the guy they're going to put in the friend zone. Now, if this is your experience, or has been your experience for a long time, right? And you notice like, damn, all these chicks, they just kind of, what I'm saying, brush me off to the side, they treat me like I'm their little brother and all this other crazy shit, right? And so now again, understand that perception they have of you, or that treatment that they're doing when it comes to you, right? You are aware that this is happening. You're aware that most women are interacting with you that way, right? So if you don't want to be in the friend zone, which I'm sure you don't, you understand, and you don't want to keep getting that type of treatment, right? Because you understand that this is what's going on, then you have to flip this and you have to start acting like a guy who doesn't want to be in a friend zone, a guy who's not going to adhere to that type of energy. Because understand, part of your behavior is why they're perceiving you that way. Just like part of my behavior of me actually being on some player shit is why they had that perception, because that's the energy I'm bringing. Just like the friend zone energy is the energy you're bringing, which is why you're getting that, perception there. Now, there are times where women may perceive you a certain way where it's not necessarily anything about you, right? But in a lot of cases, if a large majority of women are perceiving you a certain way, there's something that you're doing that is causing that. So now that you know that women are viewing you that way on some friend zone shit, right? You got to flip that. You understand? You have to become more flirty. You have to become more assertive. You understand? You have to become, the type of guy who is, when you're interacting with these women off the jump, off the rip, off the bat, you make it to some man to woman, flirtatious, building sexual tension interaction, right? So that even if she thought or had the idea or had the feeling, right, you're changing her perception of you in that moment. And you're able to do that by being aware of the fact that a majority of women are interacting with you this way. Because, see, a lot of guys will be aware of certain things like this, but they're not consciously taking note of it and using it to flip it in the interactions they're having with the women in the game. You understand? Let's use another example. Let's say you have a guy who women perceive him as like, a trick, a dude who's just gonna like spend money on pussy, or a guy who's just gonna like, flash his cash and try to be a show off and all this other stuff. Now, again, there may be something about him that if a large majority of women are coming at him that way and he's getting a bunch of gold diggers, you understand what I'm saying? Then he needs to be able to flip that. So if he's talking to a chick, he'd be like, listen, if I find a chick that I like, I don't mind spending a little money on her. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind, like spoiling a chick that I really like and who deserves it. But what I really want to do right now with you is I want to get to know you and see if you that type of girl, right? So instead of him, running into women who most likely will probably be gold diggers because they're perceiving them as a trick, right? He could flip it and say, okay, yeah, I got this money. I'll be doing something a little bit, but what I'm going to do is we're going to kick it. We're going to hook up a little bit. And then if you on point and I see you like that, then maybe I'll, do a little something. Because remember, the perception that he's getting of him being that way is because part of him is probably already that way, which is why a lot of women are perceiving him that way. But understand, if he's aware of that, then he's able to flip that in his situation, in his game, in order to get better results with the women that he's dealing with, right? So again, you guys have to actually go out there and really interact with women to be able to even understand how women perceive you. You understand what I'm saying? When they're interacting with you and when they're dealing with you, right? Now, what can give you a little hint already is, if you're really aware, is what are you doing now? Like, what is it about your energy, your personality, the way you come at women, the interactions that you would have say about you, and how would most women already perceive you based off of, those things, based off your behavior, based off of, that energy you bring into the interaction. Right. And if you already have a heads up on that, and then you have real world, experience and confirmation from dealing with lots and lots of women who you keep sort of getting the same energy back from them, you're getting that same feel, just like how I was getting all these women who were like, oh, you're such a player and you got all these women and yada, yada, yada. So I was like, damn, this is something that that keeps coming up. And like, yeah, I'm doing a little something on the side, but that don't necessarily mean this girl that I actually like, I'm just going to like hit it and quit it. Right. But because of that perception of me being a player, that's what I would get sometimes, where women who I actually liked didn't want to fuck with me, or they did want to fuck with me, but they were scared to fuck with me because of that perception they had of me. So I had to be able to flip that. I had to be able to be aware of that, so that now I can make it work in my favor. So what I'm telling you guys is, make sure that you're actually out there interacting with women, so that you can sort of see how women generally view you. You understand? See how women perceive you a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? And then based off of that, be able to use that and flip it in a way that's going to give you an advantage, to bring them in, to actually get them to want to fuck with you and attract them in a way that's going to be beneficial to you. And also in the long run, it's going to be beneficial to her, because you're connecting those dots for you and that woman to get together. All right? So that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, click the link below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Click the link below and get your bad boy gear. Get the t-shirts, Submissive Women Are Sexy, Binary as Fuck, and I'm God to These Hoes. Click the link below to get your bad boy gear today. Now, before you go, click the link below and go to badboymembership.com. Now, badboymembership.com is a place where you go to get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Listen, I know you're tired of being rejected. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of being afraid to approach women. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of not getting the women that you want. Go to badboymembership.com. Listen, I know you're tired of being alone on a Friday night. Go to badboymembership.com. Now picture this. You'll go from not getting what you want when it comes to you dealing with women to actually getting what you want, to being the guy women want to be with, women want to date, women want to have sex with. All you need to do is go to badboymembership.com, follow the steps, learn the game, implement the game, and then you will get the woman you want. Make sure you go to badboymembership.com today. Click the link below.